Stories begin with a choice, a mistake, or a coincidence. But Maya Patel's story began with a voice, her own voice. It came in a voicemail left from 2 hours in the future. A voice trembling with terror, begging her not to turn on the hallway light. This is episode 1, the first message. Maya returned home after a grueling 12-hour shift, every muscle in her body aching. She let her bag drop to the floor and collapsed into the soft cushions of her couch, the exhaustion so total it felt like a physical weight. As she sank into the fabric, her fingers brushed against something hard and cool. It was her phone, wedged between the cushions, its screen glowing with a single notification. One new voicemail. Tatwa od there were no mistake. She tapped on it, and the details made her frown. The timestamp read 9:14 p.m., but a glance at the cable box clock confirmed it was only 7:03 p.m. The message was from a future that hadn't happened yet. Curiosity, tinged with a faint unease, made her press play. Her own voice filled the silent room, but it was older, strained, and absolutely terrified. Maya, listen to me. Don't turn on the hallway light tonight. Don't go into the hallway after 9, whatever you do. Don used. A sharp, choked gasp, and then the voice was swallowed by a rush of static. The message ended. Maya's heart was hammering against her ribs. She replayed it, then again and again. The voice was hers, there was no doubt. But it was laced with a kind of primal fear she had never heard in herself, a fear that made the hair on her arms stand up. She tried to rationalize it, a technical glitch, a weird server error, maybe a prank. But a cold, heavy feeling settled in her stomach. It felt real. Shaking slightly, she called her closest friend, Tom. She didn't even say hello, just, Tom, you need to hear this. She played the voicemail for him. He listened in complete silence. When the static hissed and faded, there was a long pause on his end. Then he whispered, his own voice tight with concern, I'm coming over. Lock the door. And Maya, don't go into the hallway. The minutes crawled by. As the sun dipped below the horizon, plunging the city into twilight, the lights in her apartment began to flicker, a soft, gentle flutter at first. Then, the hallway light, the one her future self had warned her about, began to flicker violently, erratically, like a dying star. Her phone buzzed again, startling her. Another voicemail. The timestamp, 9:16 p.m. Her hands trembled as she pressed play. Maya, it's happening again. Someone's in the hallway. Don't open the door. A choked sob, followed by another wave of impenetrable static. The words hung in the air, a chilling prophecy. Someone's in the hallway. At 8:28 p.m., she heard it. Footsteps outside her front door. Heavy, and a reject sound like something being pulled across the floor. They stopped right in front of her apartment. Absolute silence fell. Then 3 soft knocks. They weren't friendly. They weren't human. They were curious, exploratory, as if something was learning how to knock for the first time. The doorknob began to turn, slowly, agonizingly. A thin, reedy, breathing sound seeped through the keyhole. It was thick, wrong, unnatural. It didn't sound like it came from lungs. And then, just as suddenly, the sound stopped. The doorknob ceased its movement. Complete silence returned. Her phone buzzed again. Timestamp, 9:17 p.m. Maya. It's already inside. Cold, paralyzing fear spread through her. Inside. Inside where? Her heart felt like it was going to explode. Her eyes darted around the dimly lit living room, searching the shadows. They landed on the dark, reflective screen of the TV, and in the reflection, a tall, thin silhouette stood behind her couch. Perfectly still. Juste watching. She whipped her head around with a cry nothing. There was nothing there, just the empty space of her apartment. Was she losing her mind? A frantic knocking at the door made her jump again. Maya, it's me, Tom. Open up. Relief washed over her in a powerful wave. She scrambled to the door, fumbled with the locks, and threw it open, practically falling into his arms. He held her tight. It's okay, I'm here. He stepped inside and did a thorough search of the small apartment, the bedroom, the bathroom, the closets. He came back to the living room, his expression calm. It's empty, Maya, he said softly. You're safe. But as he said it, her phone buzzed again, another voicemail from the future. Maya, don't trust him. You think he's safe? He can't help you. Because in the next hour Tom is going to die. They sat together on the couch as the clock ticked closer and closer to the prophesied time. Tom held her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. It's okay, he whispered, seeing the terror in her eyes. It's just a crazy glitch. Nothing's going to happen. 9:14 p.m., the exact time of the first message. Silence filled the apartment. 1 second passed, then 5, then 10. Nothing. A small, shaky smile touched Maya's lips. Maybe he was right. Then her phone buzzed. Maya, you made a mistake. You opened the door. You let him inside. A chill snaked up Maya's spine. She turned her head slowly, looking at Tom. He was sitting too still, utterly motionless. And his smile, it was stretched too wide, pulling the corners of his mouth into a grotesque, unnatural grin. His eyes were fixed on her, but they were empty. Her phone buzzed one last time. Maya, run. On Shodid